Migrants entered this country on a contract. The deal was simple: come to work in the sectors where we need you to work, obey the law, pay your taxes, and you can stay. And changing the terms of that contract after people have spent years building a life here is not just bad policy, it's a breach of trust. It makes Britain look unpredictable and a country like a country that does not keep its word.
My constituents have written to me they're a same-sex couple with a child who fled from Russia because of fear of persecution. They are working here, they're paying tax, and their child is in a local school, fully integrated into the community. They've written to me to say they are 10 months away from gaining ILR, and they really feel changing the rules retrospectively does not honour the commitments that were made to them when they were granted refugee status. So does my honourable friend agree with me that this would be very shameful for our country to turn back on what was promised to my constituents when they first arrived here?
Extending this qualifying period will affect their decision to remain in the UK, and that equates to 46,000 nursing staff at risk of leaving the UK.
This proposal is both unfair and dehumanising, and what this government needs to do is to halt it immediately. Over 1,000 of my Liverpool Riverside constituents signed this petition. I've met some of the care workers in my constituency and here in Parliament, and they are very frightened for their livelihoods and their futures. Do you agree with me? It needs to be halted.
The ILR petition debate has just concluded in Westminster Hall. Over 330,000 people signed these petitions, and today we heard directly from MPs and the Minister how the government is defending the proposed 10-year settlement model. In the last hour, MPs accused government of moving the goalposts mid-game and described retrospective changes as un-British. But while the room was filled with passion, the minister's response was far more restrained. If you're a skilled worker, care worker, or B&O visa holder, the route you entered the UK on is now part of an active political debate. In this video, I will explain what was discussed, what was not addressed, and what this realistically means for those working towards settlement in the UK. This was a debate in Westminster Hall, prompted by two significant petitions. As this was a petition debate, there is no binding vote today, and therefore no immediate changes to the immigration rules. However, the government emphasised that the 10-year model will serve as a baseline, with some limited discussions on what they refer to as earned settlement. Several MPs spoke forcefully about fairness and legal certainty. Tony Vaughan MP, opening the debate, said, "Migrants entered this country on a contract. Changing the terms of that contract after people have spent years building a life here is not just bad policy, but a breach of trust." He added, "Retrospectivity is un-British." Cameron Thomas MP focused on families and children, asking directly, when we make a deal with somebody, we are honour bound to keep it. Will the government honour the timeline for indefinite leave to remain for those who are already here? Bel Ribera Addy MP warned that uncertainty is already affecting the NHS, noting that tens of thousands of nurses are reconsidering their future in the UK. The consistent message from MPs was clear: the 5-year route was the deal people relied on. Despite numerous inquiries, the minister did not clarify whether the proposed changes would affect individuals already in the UK. There was no explicit comment on retrospective protection, the criteria for measuring earned settlement, the potential transition arrangements. This lack of clarity is significant as it highlights the uncertainty surrounding these issues. The minister emphasised that the consultation is ongoing. No final decisions have been taken, and fairness is still under consideration. However, the possibility of applying changes to people who have not yet secured ILR was not ruled out. No changes will happen overnight. The current rules remain in place for the time being. If this situation affects you, do not panic. Maintain full visa compliance. Avoid gaps in your residence and start preparing your indefinite leave to remain application and documentation early. Staying informed and prepared is the most important step at this moment. If you're nearing settlement or are concerned about the potential changes